Explorer window.
The New York Times.
Focus on.
No, not the paper.
Window opened.
Shares in
Pause.
the company. NYT for you home gamers. Yes, you heard me right. I'm about to recommend a newspaper
Volume.
stock. Now, look, everybody knows that the newspaper company
Volume
has
up.
been for years. For
Tooltip.
decades even.
Volume
Everybody knows
level
the print is
50.
dead, right? So, I mean, what the heck am I coming out here and telling you to buy the shares in the New York Times? Simple. See, the Times knows that print is a moribund industry, too, just like you and me. That's why last night the company announced they plan to sell the Boston Globe in order to focus on the core business. Sure, they should have sold earlier, blah, blah, blah. The core business is not this. No, the core business is providing proprietary online content on the web and charging for it. Yet the core business of this company isn't putting out a newspaper anymore. No, their bread and butter business, the New York Times, is now the online journal of worldwide record. And ever since the NYT put up its online paywall back in 2011, this company finally figured out a way to make money off its content on the internet. And that is the great leap forward here. That's the comeback. That's why I'm liking this one. See, at the end of the fourth quarter, the Times racked up a phenomenal was anyone even looking at this? They have 668,000 paid digital subscribers, up 13% from the previous quarter. That's linked double-digit growth, for heaven's sake. I mean, print may be dying, but content is more king than anybody had imagined on the web. Just consider AOL's success buying that Huffington Post. Remember when people were all laughing about that thing? They aren't laughing anymore. AOL just swung from a loss to a profit, and the stock has more than doubled in less than a year. Free content was supposed to be the holy grail of the internet. There was so much good content available for free that the idea of paying for it seemed ludicrous, like a sucker or something. Only the lucky few, maybe companies like the FT and the Wall Street Journal, that offered market-sensitive information could get away with charging it. Regular newspapers refused to bite the bullet, and they refused and make people pay. And you know why? Because they feared I would live through this. They feared that it would kill their traffic. And all the smart guys in Wall Street said, you got to go for traffic. So for years and years, old-fashioned news organizations fell by the wayside, crushed by the competition from the internet as they went for traffic. Throughout this period, though, unlike just about everyone else who didn't charge, the New York Times actually never blinked about generating premium content. I mean, they spent and spent while everyone else in the industry pulled back. You know, look, when I got in the business, we had chains like Knight Ridder, where I worked for. Knight Ridder, man, I'm like old. And that money wasn't even an issue for Knight Ridder. You got the story, that's all. You went where you had to go, you got the story. I mean, the chains kept fluid. Meanwhile, the Times kept its mission intact and now delivers what is unassailably the best nationwide news, political and cultural stuff, and it's hands down the best international paper in the world that is starved for information. It's still everyone's dream to work there, too. If you think of journalism like sports, they are the Miami Heat, and everyone good wants to play for the Heat. People want to be on LeBron's team, just like they want to be on Jill Abramson's team, the fabulous editor-in-chief who has done so much with so much less to make the paper better than ever. Now, there was a period where it seemed like the New York Times might spend itself in the ground. But then they put up the paywall, March of 2011. This is pretty new. They started charging for that online content, and even though critics at the time howled that the new strategy would be met with fury and mass confusion, wrong. Paywall, working. For the first time in its history, the Times is making more money for people paying for circulation than it is from advertising. And that is a huge tectonic shift. The Times has figured out a gating system that now really works well, too. You get the 10 free articles a month, as well as being able to see any stories that have been linked to or on Facebook or Twitter, and they totally hook you. From that moment on, it's just like paying your cable bill. Something you have to have, right? You can't, I'm going to cut the cord. Remember that cut the cord? No one's cutting the Times' cord. The Times has made their digital platform interactive enough that it's TV-like. Lots of video content, it's encyclopedic, and it's a worldwide must-buy that reads great on a handheld device. It works terrifically on mobile. I mean, I love it on my iPad, even better iPad mini. Plus, the Times hasn't even figured out yet that they could charge a fortune for online real estate ads, because so much real estate in the best market in the world, New York, is actually sold right through them. Wait until they listen to me tonight, and then switch to that model. It'll probably happen. Now, I also think the subscription price might be far more inelastic than we thought or even they thought. Meaning, I don't know a soul who wouldn't pay more for the darn thing rather than lose it. The digital edition is a total bargain over the hard copy. Again, think of it like a cable channel. The only big drags at the Times were a debt picture, which has now been cleared up in the Boston Globe, which they're getting rid of as of last night. This company's been paring down non-core assets for some time now. Back in August, they sold that About.com. I thought they overpaid. They got $300 million for it. In fact, the Times is now in good enough shape cash-wise. There might even be the possibility of a dividend down the road. That was certainly the hint in the conference call. Oh, one more thought. I think this story is backstopped because now that the New York Times is selling the Globe, I feel like the company could only be bought by a soon-to-be-retired Mayor Bloomberg, someone I think the Sulzberger family would actually bless as an owner. It would be like when Rupert Murdoch bought the Wall Street Journal back in 2007. Nobody other than yours truly ever thought that the Bancroft family would sell out. They did. Here's the bottom line. Print may be a dying medium, but on the web, content is king, and the New York Times has figured out how to make you pay for that content. I think the trajectory is now clear that the public no longer balks at paying for great interactive content, and the Times has the best content on earth. That means the company has turned the corner, and it's time to go positive on a stock that, frankly, I have been negative on for about as long as I've had this show, even as I love the paper more than ever. Obviously, so do others, or else the Times would have fallen already by the wayside, like so many other pure newspaper outlets since the web first took aim at all the dead tree companies last decade. Consider the New York Times all the news that's fit to interact with. And not only do these Times demand the Times, they actually demand the stock of the Times. After the break, I'll try to make you more money.